international issue, that is social media. Social media has influenced everyone's life and transformed our ways of communicating and forming relationships. With the help of technology, people are changing their communication methods on a daily basis. In a second, they may send free intercontinental texts and calls. Furthermore, the majority of social media applications are free. This encourages consumers to utilize social media more frequently. Thus, some individuals believe that social media is destroying human connection and relationships in real life, while on the other hand, they believe that social media is a benefit to humanity. Do you guys agree or disagree that social media has destroyed real-life communications? As for me and my group members, we agree that social media has destroyed real-life communications. This is because communication face-to-face had been reduced. People nowadays rely on text messaging rather than real conversation, and last but not least, social media has invented a new form of language that is fear of missing out, or known as FOMO. That's all from me. I'll pass this topic to the next presenter, Awliya. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, how are you all doing today? I hope you are in a good health. My name is Awliya Binti. The first reason why I say social media has destroyed real-life communication because of reduced face-to-face communications. People currently choose to connect with their friends and family via online platforms such as Facebook, iMessage, WhatsApp, and Instagram, rather than spending time with them in person, because these platforms allow them to interact with one another. The face-to-face communication is the primary and the most important aspect of general communication, but it has lost its importance because of social media. People who used to be close are now going forward into society preferring for communicating through social media. Today, society prefer to communicate through online platforms. These platforms are useful in providing information about friends and family, local and international news. People are much more interested in communicating with social media instead of the real ones. For instance, family members have started to talk to each other by texting instead of talking face to face, even if they are at home at the same time. They already spend hours alone in their rooms interacting with the strangers on the social media, then spend the time with their family. Other than that, when I go to a restaurant with family or friends, I notice that almost every person in that restaurant are playing a game on their cell phone, texting or talking to the phone. People do not communicate by talking face to face anymore. Consequently, the advantage of social media is connectivity. People from anywhere can connect with anyone regardless of the location, and social media offer the opportunities to speedily contact or share information with far away friends and family. Unfortunately, social media is also hurting our communication skill as it is inhibiting the ability of today's youth to communicate face to face. Most young people today don't know how to talk to someone unless they are limited to 144 characters or less. Interviews are a nightmare for many young people because they haven't been exposed to real communication with other people. Thus, everyone should limit their time spent on social media and recognize that face-to-face communication is important. It is better understanding and it is more effective than any other way, which leads to a stronger relationship in a long term. Thank you so much. That's all from me. I hope that you will learn something from my presentations. Just now, I'll pass it to my group member Nabil to share his opinion about this topic.
Thank you, Alia, for a good point about reduced face-to-face communication. But let me introduce myself first. My name is Idham Nabil, and here is my another point. The second reason why social media has destroyed real-life communication is because most people rely on the text messaging rather than real conversation talk. People nowadays is more inclined to send message through social media than to talk face-to-face. According to the Global System for Mobile Communications, about 75.4% people who are addicted to their phones, which means most people rely on smartphones as a tool that humans need. People who are rather text messaging instead of talk each other is because it happens easily and quickly. This conveys thoughts, feelings, questions, and information as if momentarily. This can delight many social media users so much that they don't have to face someone and can only post message via social media at any times in different places. With the convenience of this technology, it can cause human relationships to become increasingly strained and make it difficult for us to communicate well with people around us. The best example of this is the egregious way texts are used preemptive apologies, as in the reflexive sorries that a company knows one is running late. In another opposite view, the advantages of texting is its accessibility. Everyone has access to a text messaging app if they own a mobile phone. It's worth noting that if you are trying to get a hold of someone, a text may be the most effective way to get their attention, especially during the COVID-19 era. But it also shown that accessibility is not always easy to discern emotions in a conversation, while texting is a conversational and personal medium. It can be hard to determine uh, it, ha- it can be hard to determine the context of message without seeing the other person facial expression or hearing the tone of their voice. Thus, it's shown that relying on text messaging in daily life is the reason why social media destroy real life communication. For me, a good conversation is the best antidote to a loneliness. Thank you, and I will pass it to the Sharfyz, please.
Thank you, Idham, for your point of view which rely on text messaging rather than real communication. Now, it's my turn to point out my view about this topic. Yes, I also agree that social media has destroyed real-life communication, and that is because social media has invented a new form of language. In the new era of industrial revolution and Internet of Things, social media has somehow invented new form of language or a way of conveying information. Through this new language, the majority of people has gotten aware and very much affected by something called FOMO, which carries the meaning of fear of missing out. One crucial thing about social media is that it has manufactured a vacuum in everyone's mind, which resulted in them incessantly checking their social media platform, be it Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube or Instagram. That is in order to stay updated with the current issue that have been happening around the world. An example for this is the COVID-19 situation in Malaysia. The people have made it a habit to check up on the latest numbers of cases every day and would even refresh the Ministry of Health official Twitter account countless times while waiting for the latest news to appear. It is without a doubt that the fear of missing out carries some benefit, some of which appear to be we are being up to date with the important and crucial issue. These new are easily accessible with the ever-improvised optical fiber that we have information could reach us in a matter of seconds. However, recent studies suggest that social media has given a rise to attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which is ADHD. ADHD, which the brain easily loses focus due to demand for attention. This rate of consumption of data leads to overwhelming communication and interaction. It is some unethical thing which play with our brain. It also affects our normal lifestyle. Therefore, it is extremely crucial for us to know our limit with data consumption in our daily life to avoid getting affected with the rapidly growing mental health issue that come with this detrimental habit. Finally, let's move to Ateeq to talk about conclusion of this topic.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Ateeq Bin Azairi and now I'm going to talk about the conclusion of this topic. In conclusion, I agree that social media has destroyed real-life communication in reducing communication face-to-face, relying in text conversation rather than real conversation talk, and social media invented a new form of language. Therefore, in order to make sure that social media doesn't destroy real-life communication is based on how we, the community, use social media. So, it is always up to us how we use it and makes it beneficial or harmful in any ways. First, even though social media has its bad side, it also has its bright side, which is it could brought us closer to a lot of people by chatting in an app such as WhatsApp and more. Second, social media also always updates us about what is going around the world each day, so we won't miss any information. On the flip side, it has greatly affected our social media life and created a digital bubble around us, which are too afraid to break. So, we should make sure that how we use it is in a great way or another way around. Whether you bring the best or the worst of social media will be how efficiently and carefully you use it to your advantage. Thank you very much. Till we meet again next time. Assalamualaikum and have a nice day.